Greetings, slackers. It is January 14th, 2016. And I got an article over here that I found and I wanted to share with you because it deals with online safety and Craigslist. This is on TXK today. Aggravated robbery indictment accuses Texarkana woman of finding male victim on Craigslist. And this is by Phil Walsh. A Texarkana woman is facing a possible life sentence if found guilty of robbing a man she met on Craigslist. Anquinette Nicole Ross, 37, is accused of luring a 45-year-old man she met on Craigslist with sexual promises October 24th to Roadway Inn on State Line Avenue, according to a probable cause affidavit. The man reported he drove his company car to the motel after exchanging a series of emails with a woman whose post he responded to on Craigslist. The alleged victim told detectives Ross invited him into her room and told him to make himself comfortable as she walked into the bathroom. The man said he took off his shoes and pants and took a seat on the couch. When she emerged from the bathroom, Ross was allegedly armed with a taser. A man who has not been charged in the case came running from the bathroom and attacked, punching the alleged victim in the face. The man told detectives he asked Ross and her companion what they wanted. The woman told him she wanted everything he had, car, wallet, and phone. According to the affidavit, the victim advised that he must have passed out because he didn't remember regaining consciousness until he woke up in a hospital bed. Ross was walking out of the motel room when she crossed paths with a housekeeper who knew her. Ross allegedly told the maid the two are family and that she should cover for Ross if necessary. The housekeeper waited as Ross and her male accomplice drove off in the victim's car before using her pass key to open the door to room 117. The housekeeper found a man unconscious on the floor, blood covering his face, and called for help. If found guilty of aggravated robbery, Ross faces 5 to 99 years of life in prison. Now, I want to comment on this one because one of the great things about Craigslist is you have the ability to meet people. One of the bad things about Craigslist is you have the ability to meet the wrong people. And I'm just going to tell you a little story of something stupid that I did one night. I was exchanging some emails online, talking with this girl, and so I remember the Laker game was on. And we were talking about the game and coming over and kicking it and stuff. And so she was like, yeah, come on over and chill or whatnot. So I hate to admit this, but I drove 50 miles from my house to go over her house and kick it just to watch the game. Of course, I was not thinking with the head on my shoulders. I was thinking with, the head below. And so I drove all the way over there, and she lived in a gated apartment complex. I texted her at the gate. She's like, I'll buzz you in. Come on in. And she said, park right in front, and I'll text you in a few minutes. I said, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. So I drove on in, and I parked, and I waited for a few minutes. And then I texted her, and I was like, hey, what's up? You coming in or what? And no response. I give it a few minutes. Still no response. I text her again. Hey, what's up? It's been, 5 minutes. I've been sitting here. You hear what? No response. So by this time, I'm sitting in the car chilling, and I am getting heated. Okay? Because, number one, I wasted all this gas driving to come kick it. And you tell me to come into the gate. You buzz me in, but then there's no response. So I decided to wait a few more minutes. And by this time, it was 10, maybe 12 minutes later. Texted her again. Still no response. And I decided, well, I'll just wait. Maybe she's busy or whatnot. And so I waited a total of 20, 25 minutes, which is ridiculous, I might add. And I texted her back, no response. At this point, I was furious. And I started my car up and I drove back home. And the good thing about that is I said that I will never, ever do that again. Okay? Drive anywhere to go kick it with anyone, especially on unsecured chat. Number two, it was good that maybe something didn't go down because it could have been a setup. Okay? And a lot of you guys are going to be out here meeting women off of these different dating websites, and not all of them have the same intentions you do. They know, okay? Scam artists know for a fact. You're looking for a sexual encounter, and in the heat of the moment, the haste, you can be manipulated, you can be conned, you can be robbed. And who are you going to tell? Who are you going to tell? You're going to tell the police, yeah, I came down, I was looking to, get some pussy, but it didn't work out. They're just going to tell you, yeah, don't do that next time, but we'll go ahead and take a report and we'll see what we can do from there. Well, they got to go through the IP chat logs if there's a crime to try to track down where the emails came from, who you were talking to. So one of the best things you can always do is always meet people in public. A nice public setting is safe for you, it's safe for them, and you can kind of tell after talking with someone if it's going to progress and go to another level. Sometimes, talking with women, they'll go ahead and make the job easy for you. They'll be like, hey, you want to get out of here and, go back to my place? All right. So, she's down with it. She's DTF, as they say. But I wanted to bring this story to you because far too many times now, this guy, he got his company car taken. What are you going to tell your boss? Hey, boss, I had a hard dick. I was listening to it instead of, the head on my shoulders, and I had a lapse of judgment and made a mistake that almost cost me my life. Because this is the type of stuff that goes on out here. So, fellas, you got to do better and really start thinking with this head up here on your shoulders and taking the time to fill people out. With online dating and dating apps, this has sped communication up quite a bit. And like I said, you can easily move from online chatter to, hey, let's meet up, or why don't you come over and kick it? Because there's been women I've met and they're like, yeah, come over to my house. And funny enough, I went and, we had a good vibe. We had good communication and whatnot, and there was no danger. But there was also times, such as the story that I just told you, it could have turned into something else. I've been very lucky to dodge a few bullets. And you out there may be as well. But practice with some caution and a little bit of common sense and be safe out here. Because this woman, okay, she lured the guy over to her house with sexual promises. That was the lure. And that's a very powerful lure that you should work on not allowing to manipulate your best judgment. That's going to be it for my message. Please share this news with others. And I'll catch you in the next article. This is September Man. Out, 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 out.